The countdown continues, as in the 19-question countdown to the high school football season. What does former Reading star Deshaun Wynn have to do with tonight's question? We'll find out when the wrap continues. Area's most heavily recruited high school running back last year was Reading's Deshaun Wynn. He ultimately signed with the Florida Gators. His departure is the subject of tonight's high school football countdown. We've come up with 19 questions leading right up to opening night, 1 week from Thursday. Tonight's question, who will replace Deshaun Wynn at Reading? The answer is Dick York. No, not the cat who played Darren Stevens on Bewitched. We're talking about Tim Dick, seen there running up the hill in his white muscle shirt, and his teammate Ryan York. Reading will go with a 2 for the price of 1 approach as York and Dick look to fill Wynn's rather large cleats.
Hopefully it's even better than last year, you know. I mean, we're more of a power situation this year. He's going to be a tough guy to follow, but hopefully we do our best, you know, and get our yards. Hopefully we're going to go to the playoffs, I guarantee you that.
It's a different offense from last year. And me and Timmy both, we're going to be subbing in there because we both start defense, and we're going to be playing both ways on offense and defense. So it'll just be keep fresh running back in there and just do what we can do with the ball.
Our 19-question countdown continues tomorrow.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this late edition of the final quarter. Time to kick off this 2002 high school football season. Clinton Massey falls to Reading by 1.
The Reading Blue Devils made the trek out to Claremont County to take on Bethel Tate. Reading QB Adam Caldwell keeps the ball on this play. He zigs. That's a zag there. He's in. Pay dirt on the opening score. The running game just too much for Bethel Tate to contend with tonight. John Gertz pulls his way into the end zone for another Blue Devils score. Reading all over Bethel tonight with a 55-0 win.
Reading beats up on Bethel Tate. Western.
AE Doors and Windows Sales. Reading defeating Bethel Tate tonight, 55-0. Springboro there with a win over Aiken. There's a Reading score.
4-0. Also on the board, Reading over Indian Hill. Tony Pike with a nice night. King.
Harrison big tonight. Reading over Indian Hill. Madeira.
To Reading, where the high-scoring Blue Devils host conference rival Indian Hill. 4th and 2 from the 3. Zummy Zander to Kyle Arnold, broken up by Andrew Carpenter. Reading looks for the counterpunch. Already up 14 zip, but Adam Caldwell is picked off by Cole Casino. Reading gets the return turnover. Tony Pike at QB. Adam Blevins, nice tight spiral, bye-bye. 21 zip at half, and the Devils roll 35-14. Western Pike throws for 3 scores, 200.
The prospects for paybacks are prominent on tonight's high school football schedule. Catherine Nero reports from Reading on 1. Catherine?
Denny, here at Reading, they lost 2 of their biggest names from last year's team, Charlie Vampel and Deshaun Wynn. And a lot of folks thought that once those guys graduated, that meant the Blue Devils would have a rebuilding season. But that has not been the case. Those Devils have started off now 3-0 thanks to a new platoon system. And they're eager to try it out tonight in Game 4 against Wyoming.
And it's working real well. Kids are having a ball at it. I'm having fun coaching. I'm rejuvenated after 30 years, and we just can't wait for the next game.
Wyoming's always been consistent with having good teams, so we're just going to come out, be prepared, and just play hard.
They're a good team. They've always been a good team. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times we beat them in the past 10 years. Not very many, maybe once or so, but I think it'll be a good game. I mean, they're tough.
Ken Miner will coach his 301st game here at Reading tonight. We'll see how it turns out at 11. Dixie doesn't play action. You can catch all the highlights right here on Channel 9 on Friday Sports Fever at 11. Denny?
Thank you very much, Catherine. Here's a sampling of 9 big games you will see right here on Channel 9. Battle of 3-0 teams at Kings tonight when Norwood.
THL showdown tonight. The Wyoming Cowboys hook up with the Reading Blue Devils. And how is life at Reading without Deshaun Wynn? It's not bad. Adam Caldwell to Adam Blevins. That'd be Adam squared. Touchdown, Reading. Blue Devils take a 6-point lead. And then we move to the 4th quarter. It's Caldwell again this time. And watch him hit a wide-open Loris Barnes. I mean, this dude is as wide open as you could be. Reading 34, Wyoming 20 is the final. Our first roll on the AE.
This is Friday Sports Fever.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Friday Sports Fever, High School Football Edition, Chapter 4. It's a page-turner that just keeps getting better. Reading and Wyoming, one of the big games going tonight. I had the Cowboys in my Enquirer picks this morning. Catherine Nero has the verdict.
Friday the 13th lived up to its reputation for the Wyoming Cowboys as they faced the 3-0 Blue Devils from Reading. The Cowboys actually jumped ahead first before Reading answered. Tony Pike finds Adam Blevins with a 5-yard pass to tie it up at 7. But then both teams kept it on the ground. Wyoming's Gene Fleming pounded in his second TD of the night, this one from 4 out. The Cowboys are up by a touch. But Reading's got a keeper at fullback, too. Tim Dick broke several tackles on his way to 6 points. The PAT failed, and Wyoming clung to a 1-point lead. While both teams' offenses were cranking out the points early on, right before the half, Wyoming's defense came up big. As Reading drives, Adam Blevins fumbles near the goal line, and Wyoming's Jesse Brumbaugh is there to recover. So the Cowboys take that 1-point lead into halftime. But in the second half, the Blue Devils pulled away. Blevins reels in another touchdown, and then to begin the fourth, second-half quarterback Adam Caldwell looks and finally finds Loris Barnes all alone. Reading stays perfect with a 34-20 win. Catherine Nero, 9 Sports.
The Enquirer's legendary high school reporter Dave Schutte took in that tussle and reports at length in tomorrow's edition. Tonight's scores and more, you can read them in the Enquirer. Bengals.
Time now for our Beauty of the Week, brought to you by Provident Bank. We go right back to that Reading-Wyoming game. Adam Caldwell to John Barber. Outstanding catch, and he draws the flag as well. It's our Provident Bank Beauty of the Week.
For the Provident Bank Blitz beat.
But let's not forget about high school football. DJ gives us a recap of the Fever.
And here's your Saturday sports update. Reading at Wyoming was one of the big high school football games going on last night. I had the Cowboys in my Enquirer picks yesterday morning. Catherine Nero, though, has the verdict.
Friday the 13th lived up to its reputation for the Wyoming Cowboys as they faced the 3-0 Blue Devils from Reading. The Cowboys actually jumped ahead first before Reading answered. Tony Pike finds Adam Blevins with a 5-yard pass to tie it up at 7. But then both teams kept it on the ground. Wyoming's Gene Fleming pounded in his second TD of the night, this one from 4 out. The Cowboys are up by a touch. But Reading's got a keeper at fullback, too. Tim Dick broke several tackles on his way to 6 points. The PAT failed, and Wyoming clung to a 1-point lead. While both teams' offenses were cranking out the points early on, right before the half, Wyoming's defense came up big. As Reading drives, Adam Blevins fumbles near the goal line, and Wyoming's Jesse Brumbaugh is there to recover. So the Cowboys take that 1-point lead into halftime. But in the second half, the Blue Devils pulled away. Blevins reels in another touchdown, and then to begin the fourth, second-half quarterback Adam Caldwell looks and finally finds Loris Barnes all alone. Reading stays perfect with a 34-20 win. Catherine Nero, 9 Sports.
Busy week. Thanks to Sean Jones and Sean Dunster, and of course, thanks to Catherine Nero. We'll see you next Saturday night on the Myers Sports.
First-timers and perennials dot this week's Temp Star Team of the Week roster of candidates. Fairfield's Indians handed Lakota East its first loss of the season, improving to 3-1 after eking out the 10-9 squeaker right there. Taft Senators beat Schroeder Paideia 14-13, the resurrected Senators' first win since last century. They'd been winless in 4 years. Reading defied the predictions and beat Wyoming 37-20. The 8th-rated Blue Devils rearranging the CHL with the upset of the 3rd-rated Cowboys. Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy now 4-0 after thumping Cincinnati Country Day 34-9 in a battle of unbeatens. Beechwood, meantime, handed Holmes Bulldogs their first loss, 21-8. We'll crunch the numbers and announce our Temp Star winner at 11 o'clock. Today's Bengals, nothing compared, though, to the drought that the Taft Senators have weathered. Without a team last year, they hadn't won a game in 4 years until they knocked off Schroeder Paideia 14-13 Friday, and for that, they've been voted our Temp Star Channel 9 Team of the Week. They didn't make the poll, but the Enquirer coaches poll, but among those who did, Elder, Moeller, and Anderson in Division I. A sneak peek at the smaller schools has Loveland, followed by Kings and Reading after beating Wyoming. No other
scorecard. Reading taking Finneytown 47-0.
And a trip to the land to pay dirt.
Out by Deer Park, Finneytown shut out.
Still to come on the Myers Sports Rush, the Pro Copy Player of the Week.
Player of the Week brought to you by Pro Copy.
Our Pro Copy Player of the Week led a second-half comeback. Senior Adam Caldwell took over at quarterback last Friday for Reading when they were trailing Wyoming at halftime. Caldwell proceeded to throw 3 touchdown passes and run for 68 yards as the Blue Devils rallied from behind to beat the Cowboys 14-13. A player who came through in a pinch, that's Adam Caldwell of Reading, our Pro Copy Player of the Tory emails. I believe the kids from Reading need more respect. No superstars, just a very good team. The best is yet to come. Well, we've been out to see them, Sharon, and Ken Miner has another winner. Just keep winning, and they'll get their respect.
Other big games are also on the schedule. Reading faces Madeira tonight, riding a nice little win streak, 5 straight to open the season.
We were picked 7th in the league coming in, but people underestimate us. Yeah, 7th out of 8, and Madeira was picked 4th, so that's kind of a factor every week in our motivation.
Battle Winton Woods in the CHL. It's Reading heading to Madeira. Finneytown's homecoming is
For 21-0. Reading at Madeira tonight and showing us several reasons why they are unbeaten. Gets the 6 off the push up the middle. Nice run. And oh yeah, they can throw that thing too. Adam Caldwell with a scoring pass, 6 more off that. Final Reading 27, Madeira nothing. Reading still unbeaten.
Wow. The Blitz descending on Madeira tonight. The Mustangs hosting the Reading Blue Devils, and the Devils are tough. Hot night, Madeira. Okay, third quarter action. Reading quarterback Anthony Pike in for the injured Adam Caldwell. Snap was low, but Pike bites the hook, and after a 12-yard rumble, he's nailed by Travis Russ. Later same drive, Pike to Tim Dick. 2nd and 16, and it's a touchdown. Reading makes it a 14-0 Blue Devil lead. Now fourth quarter. Reading driving again, 3rd and goal. Tony Pike, quick hitter to Loris Barnes. He dives in, 27-zip the final. Reading now 6-0.
Wow. All right, homecoming.
35-zip to the CHL. Top dog Reading at Madeira. The Sting cheerleaders with a devil of a time tonight. Anthony Pike freezes the safeties with a pump and hits Loris Barnes on the big play. Pike this time hands to Timothy Dick on the fullback draw, untouched to the zone. Pike with a hit to Barnes. He'll give a quick slip here and dive in for another 6. Skunk 'em, baby. 27-zip, staying in the conference. Finneytown's homecoming.
Undefeated, Reading visited Madeira tonight. Second quarter action. Blue Devils up 7-0. Tim Dick takes the handoff and chugs home for 8 yards and the TD. It was 14-0 with the point after. In the fourth, backup quarterback Rick Anthony finds Loris Barnes on the quick out, and he quicks it home. He's on his way. 27-0 was the final. North College.
Perennial power from Cincinnati, also in Reading is 5-0. Tonight the Blue Devils on the road at Madeira and showing us several reasons why they're unbeaten. Getting 6 points up the middle on the ground. And oh yeah, they can throw the ball too. Adam Caldwell goes to the air for the TD. And Reading blanks Madeira 27-0. Coming up next on High School
Air Sports Rush.
Tonight on the Meyer Sport, it's all teamwork in Reading.
This is the Meyer Sports Rush with John Popovich and Catherine Nero.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Meyer Sports Rush. Tonight, from Reading High School, it's the home of the Blue Devils, and they are one of the great surprises in our area on the football field this year. But first, let's start with Friday.
Reading, where the Blue Devils have reloaded and are back winning. That's next on the Meyer Sports Rush. Back to game action in just a minute, but let's take a side trip over to Reading, where the work is long and the work is hard for Ken Miner's football team.
The kids are really bought into the team concept that we don't have a big star player here like we did last year, or 2 or 3.
The star players last year were Deshaun Wynn and Charlie Vampel, 2 of the best players in the entire area. They're gone at college now. And so some doubted that these Blue Devils would ever escape from their very large shadows.
We were picked 7th in the league coming in, but people underestimate us. Yeah, 7th out of 8.
That's just motivation. It just wants to make us work harder, just earn everything we get. We know we got to earn it.
The Blue Devils have made the predictors look foolish as they've raced out to a fabulous first half of the season.
We believe in our coach, one. We believe in a team. We play as a team. We work as a team. There's no all-stars out here. We're as one. We play as one. That's why we win.
Hey! Go! Got it. Roll your hips. And we've managed to go 2 platoon almost all the way, with excepting maybe 1 or 2 kids that cross over once in a while. And we get lots of repetitions at the same area of our expertise.
One of the most interesting aspects of this team is the use of two different quarterbacks with two different ways of doing things.
And one is a 6'4", Tony Pike, and he can see over top everybody, and he's got a really good arm. But our incumbent from last year was Adam Caldwell, and he comes in, he's kind of our spark plug, like the sixth man in basketball when we need something to happen.
Adam Caldwell stepped into deep trouble 2 weeks ago when Reading trailed Wyoming at halftime. He led a big second-half rally. Reading won going away. But certainly part of this also is the attitude. Reading has been to the playoffs. The players like it.
That is a big factor, and we're getting the kids coming out that normally wouldn't come out.
The focus is evident this year. Some players say they had a letdown last year in the playoffs, perhaps because they relied too much on the stars. No stars this year, and they say that means no letdown.
We don't stop hard working, so that's how we win. Everybody else takes breaks, but we don't here.
Our Friday night feature had those Reading Blue Devils going up against Madeira. And one of the Devil quarterbacks, Adam Caldwell, had this going in the first half. Tries to hurdle, he gets flipped, and his helmet comes off. Anthony Pike saw some considerable action after that. Pretty pass, pretty lead to Loris Barnes down the right sidelines, and that's a big gainer. They use the pass well to set up the run. Brandon Smear over the right side, and the Devils take the lead. Let's see the defense. Here's Bob Hopkins coming in from the left end, ripping down Mustangs quarterback Paul Maselli. Reading wasn't going to get stopped. Pike runs right, throws back left to Tim Dick. He picks up some good yardage here in the second half after the catch. They move it downfield. It's Pike to Barnes for the score. Reading remains unbeaten, 27-0 over Madeira.
Thanks to Sean Jones and Sean Dunster for their hard work. For Catherine Nero, I'm John Popovich. We'll see you next Saturday night on the Meyer.
First, let's take a quick look at what happened Friday night, making up our Meyer High School highlights. And let's start with Reading's victory over Madeira. Nice pass here. Anthony Pike going up top. Good catch by Loris Barnes.
Before that, Reading puts its perfect record on the line. All of these games we're watching on the Blitz on Friday night, of them all, we want to see if Ken Miner's team can start this season 7-0. It is homecoming at Reading, but it's who's left town that's the big story. Gone. Deshaun Wynn and Charlie Vampel from that high-tech Reading offense of a year ago. But the Blue Devils haven't missed a beat this season.
We lost to Sean Wynn last year, and we knew that we weren't going to be a running game. And our offensive linemen are pretty big kids, but they weren't the kind to really get off the ball and drive real hard. And so we just thought, we have 4 good receivers, and we have 2 good quarterbacks. What more could you want for a spread offense?
As for us, our next up are the Cubcat Highlands game and the Edgewood Franklin games. They're the only games that have been postponed so far tonight. Everybody else is on, including the homecoming game at Kings tonight. Ross is the opponent. At Reading, Ken Miner has his team 6-0. That is a shock to some, considering what graduation took the toll on this team last year. Gone. Offensive threats to Sean Wynn and Charlie Vampel. But what do you know? Here's Reading rolling at 6-0. Tonight, Reading has its homecoming. Major concern for Miner, don't let his team let down against Deer Park.
Coach Pettyjohn has done a great job with them over there, and they are aggressive, they're hungry. They scare me because they're a lot like our kids. So if somebody's going to knock it off, it's going to be somebody like us. So we're real respectful of them.
Here's what we got for you tonight.
Deer Park at Reading tonight. Blue Devils trying to remain undefeated and getting a leg up on, there he goes, James Conner. 30-yarder. Raise your hands if you're sure, and they are. Devils scoring all sorts of ways. This is Adam Caldwell on his horse, and it's a good one. Adam runs for 106 yards. Tony Pike throws for 2 TDs. Reading rolls 34-0, and also on that board. Hill, a 19-0 winner over Wyoming.
Wilmington rolling up 55. CHCA with a shutout. Deer Park loses to Reading. Finneytown falls to Madeira, and Indian Hill 19-0.
The Deer Park Wildcats traveled over to Reading Road to take on the undefeated Blue Devils of Reading. Adam Blevins takes the pass from Tony Pike, turns the corner upfield into the end zone for the touchdown. This time, Adam Caldwell is behind center. He calls his own number and goes untouched into the end zone for the score. Reading all over the park tonight, 34-0. Hoosier hostility. Just a sampling of those getting freaky tonight. Doesn't get much. 4 trips to pay dirt. And let's give it up for the Reading defense. Their 4th shutout this season. That's a new school record. Congrats go out to the Blue Devils tonight. Channel 12 has the
Queen City team. Undefeated Reading hosting 4-2 Cincinnati Deer Park. Reading's James Conner is a man on the move. Conner will move 30 yards. Will the Blue Devils stay undefeated? Raise your hands if you're sure. Yes, they are. Reading scoring all kinds of ways after the field goal. It's Adam Caldwell on his horse. Caldwell runs for 106 yards on the night. Tony Pike throws for 2 scores. And Reading goes to 7-0 in convincing fashion. Cincinnati-Princeton.
Won. The Reading Blue Devils out trying to stay undefeated this Friday night against Deer Park. Juggling quarterbacks. This is Tony Pike turning left with a pass to Adam Blevins. 17 yards, and the Blue Devils are quickly on the board. Second part of that two-headed quarterback tandem is Adam Caldwell. He looked to pass, decided to run. Good decision. He goes 22 yards for the score. 14-0 Reading. Reading in a breeze. 34-0.
But first to the high school scene, here's Jake Jolivet and the Meyer High School highlights.
6 o'clock. And the 4th weekly OHSAA football ratings are out. The top 8 in each region will make the playoffs. 7-0 Reading is 2nd. Clinton Massey is 5th. Deer Park and Marymount need a strong finish in Division 5. CHCA and East Clinton are at 2-6, and CCD holds on in Division 6 for right now. First pair.
How about a Friday night game of football with no rain?
Yes!
How about a Friday night of football with no blitz?
No way!
It's time for Ken and George with all the scores and highlights. It's time for the blitz!
Friday night in the big town, east, west, north, south. You could follow the lights and find a good football game. Hello again, everybody. Along with George, I'm Ken.
Yeah, and if you were, hey, it's great to have Marymont's Tom Crosby back in coaching, although he may have had second thoughts tonight. Reading up 28-6 in the second half. Timothy Dick up and over, and he's got the ball. That's a touchdown. The Blue Devils are rolling. Fourth quarter action. Reading's Anthony Pike to Loris Barnes on the slant, and he shakes the tackle, and he's number 1 with a bullet, 65 yards. Reading wins 41-12. The Blue Devils are 8-0 and clinch the CHL title.
Congratulations to Ken Miner, Norwood at home tonight.
And here's the games for the upcoming week. Amelia Northwest leads the docket, and voting is open as we speak at channelcincinnati.com, and voting continues through next Friday at 3 o'clock. The winner, we show the highlights next Friday night. The Blitz Buck.
Ross Ballinger, the pitch, breaks a few tackles, and will score, but the damage was done. 41-12 was the final. Reading's now 8-0. Coach Ed Jack.
Highlight from Western Ohio, and we'll travel down to Cincinnati. You're watching High School Sports Site on ONN. Coming up next on High School Sports Site, more from the Queen City, and we'll check out the Central Ohio scene. This is the Ohio News Network, your channel for high school sports. Back to the Cincinnati area now. Reading hosting Marymount. The Blue Devils excited to get this one started. Adam Caldwell back for Reading. He's going to find his open man and deliver the 51-yarder to Adam Blevins. No one in his path. Make it 7-0 Reading, and the crowd's got to like that one. That'll be followed up by a 7-yard touchdown run by John Gentz. Puts Reading in the lead, 14-0. Let's hear that victory bell. Is that the sound of victory? You bet. A 15-yard TD run by Timothy Dick. And Reading rolls in this one, 41-12, the final over Marymount. Time now to check out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this late edition of the final quarter. But regardless of the hour, you know what this show is all about. It's high school football, and we start with Marymount and Reading. Reading's Blue Devils stand at a perfect 7-0. What's troubling opponents is the nature of their game. Second play, opening drive, shotgun, and the hookup from Adam Caldwell to Adam Blevins, 51 yards. He's gone. Touchdown. Later, 7 yards from the goal line, the Devils go to John Gentz. John finding room on the outside, a couple of blockers, takes it in. 6 more for Reading. Bang a gong, young lady. They do have it going on. Caldwell in the shotgun once more. Inside handoff to Timothy Dick. He makes it look easy. Reading still undefeated. They beat Marymount 41-12.
When we come back, we go back to the football field. So much great action to talk about. And Tom Crosby's back in charge of the Marymount Warriors this season. but his team had its hands full against undefeated Reading Friday night. Jason Singer tries to run, but Adam Caldwell grabs him and drags him down. Ken Miner really has this Reading team running on all cylinders, and a sizable crowd out to see these two solid programs. Here's a good view from the sidelines when the Blue Devils flip it to Tim Dick. He twists out of one tackle, then makes the big gain before being shoved out of bounds. And since he did that so well, Tim gets the ball down low again, and Reading is just rolling over Marymount, 34-6. Marymount kept up the good fight till the end of this one. Here's Ross Ballinger taking it right at us and then into the end zone, but the Blue Devils still haven't been beaten. They win 41-12.
Dropping in and delivering the goods for another week of Blitz 5 Extra. The Reading Blue Devils off to the races 8-0, and nobody in sight that can catch them. We'll talk with Blue Devils head coach Ken Miner. Hi again, welcome to another edition of Saturday Afternoon Blitz 5 Extra. I'm Ken Brew. A lot to get to today, so let's get right to the act after round one. It's also week 8 of high school football to talk about. And no one anywhere picked the Reading Blue Devils to do anything this year. They lost one of the great players in that school's history, Deshaun Wynn. They lost Charlie Vampel, but all Reading has done is go unbeaten this season. It's great to have in the studio again a good friend of this show, Ken Miner, the head coach. Good to see you, Ken.
Thanks a lot.
Brings his defensive coordinator with him, too. I guess it's wise. No head coach actually goes on the road without the guys that make him look good, right? Where's the offensive coordinator?
That's me.
That's you. Well, that was easy enough, wasn't it, Scott? Yeah. Let's talk of 8-0. It's unbelievable.
Well, the kids were a little upset when the preseason poll came out and said we were going to be 8th because Charlie Vampel and Deshaun Wynn are two great players. We'd love to have them back. But we knew that we were more than just those two. And so we worked very hard, and I give a lot of credit to Scott. Scott has done a great job with the mindset.
Now, you said you were upset with the polls. That wasn't the Blitz 5 poll, was it?
No, we never were upset with
Was that in the newspaper?
The newspaper
Well, blame
polls,
them.
yeah.
That's okay.
Okay, we won't be upset with you guys.
Right.
But Scott and my coaches, defense coach and offensive coaches, they just got the mindset that we're not going to be outworked. And we're just going to work hard all year long, and we're going to prove that we have more than just a couple players in our program.
But truthfully, when the offense is putting up a lot of points, it makes it a lot easier, I would think, on the defensive side of the football, right?
Well, you know, in our league, everybody wants to run the ball. And if he goes ahead and puts 14 up right away, it kind of changes the complexion of the game. Makes it a little easier for us.
On you.
Absolutely.
On you. But in truth, you did lose a lot. Did you keep doing the same things that you did when you had Charlie, when you had Deshaun, or did you completely scrap that and go to something different this year?
We scrapped it and went to a spread offense. I got a lot of help from John Rodenberg over at McNicholas. He came down and gave me a couple films and spent a couple hours with us, and I liked the stuff, and then we branched more into it from other people, and it's been a great deal for us, this spread offense.
We're getting a look here at your team, and this I believe against Wyoming. Is that right? I'm looking at that game. It looks like the Wyoming game, and a game that you obviously handled very well. When you go to something completely different, Ken, is it tough for the coach to get it immediately? Had you done that before with other teams, or was it tougher getting some of the kids that were here the last couple of years when you were running the different offense to buy into it?
It was actually really simple. We just started working piece by piece, play by play, and everybody just picked up on it right away. And we were surprised how easily it went. I really think that high school and college pro football is all going to evolve into something like this no-huddle spread, because it puts you in a bind defensively that whatever you're giving up, you're going to take with the offense, because there's so much you can do with it.
Right. Now, you tell me Scott is one of the all-time greats at Reading High. Is that what you're telling me?
He's an all-time leading tackler for a season.
For a season. How many tackles would that be in a season? Oh, like you don't know.
107.
You know.
I know, because they didn't keep it back when I played. I told him you wouldn't have it if I...
So I would guess that you probably, you know, instill in your guys that you got to tackle properly, tackles, you know, the right way, procedure, you know, wrap them up and take them down, right? No shoulders, right?
You got to get there first.
Got to get there first. No substitute for speed.
Proper tackling for them. And team pursuit is huge.
Now you got Taylor this week on the road, CCD on the road. Can your team go unbeaten?
It's possible. We've gotten 8-0 based mainly on hard work. If we keep up the work ethic, I don't see why not. We got to go 9-0 before we go 10-0.
Sounds like a coach already. We don't let anybody go empty-handed, and I just dropped them down here, so I'm going to have to bend down and pick up these wonderful Blitz T-shirts. They're black, which is a good color because it makes your muscles stand out more, they told me. And that's why so when you're in there, you know, throwing the weights around, you got something to look good in, right? Maybe wear it on the sideline once or twice, Coach. Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me you brought gifts.
And we won't let you go out without being an honorary Blue Devil.
Outstanding.
So you got that.
How about that?
We didn't forget about the Deer Park Wildcat Tony either.
Yeah, well, we can't either around here.
We'll give him one also.
Okay, that's for Guido, our producer. Well, thank you very much. Good luck. You know, I mean, I just think it's terrific that you can lose as much as you've lost in the off season and turn around and come out of the gate as strongly as you have. And say hi to the kids for us too. We appreciate it.
We will. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
the Reading Blue Devils.
But first, a breath of fresh air. It's Jake Jolivet and the Meyer High School highlights.
The CHL title goes to Reading. Ken Miner's team riding high at 8-0. They had this win over Marymount. They put another conference title in their pocket. Reading lost its best player in years last season. Deshaun Wynn graduated. All Miner and his staff did over the winter was install a new offense. Miner, our guest, Saturday on Blitz 5 Extra.
I got a lot of help from John Rodenberg over at McNicholas. He came down and gave me a couple films and spent a couple hours with us, and I liked the stuff, and then we branched more into it from other people, and it's been a great deal for us, this spread offense. High school and college pro football is all going to evolve into something like this no-huddle spread because it puts you in a bind defensively that whatever you're giving up, you're going to take with the offense because there's so much you can do with it.
Congratulations again to Reading.
Wall Tri-State teams latched onto league titles over the weekend, not to mention Tempstar Team of the Week nominations. Woodward's Bulldogs, for one. They beat Aiken 22-0 to clinch their first league championship since 1979, pushing their record to 6-0. The Elder Panthers won the GCL South title with a 29-19 win over LaSalle behind Bradley Glothauer's 4 touchdowns. Mount Healthy's Owls are 5-0 after beating Dayton Dunbar 10-6 to claim the Southwest Ohio Public League American Division title. Reading's Blue Devils won the Cincinnati Hills League title and remained undefeated by virtue of a 41-12 rout of Marymount. South Dearborn's Knights' second win of the season was for Route 50 bragging rights, 28-14 over Lawrenceburg. Who will boast our Tempstar Award? Find out tonight at 11 o'clock. Now, they share Route 50 and, of course, the affection of southeastern Indiana fans, but when South Dearborn meets Lawrenceburg, it's for keeps. So the Knights' 28-14 win over the Tigers, just their second this year, is all theirs, along with the Tempstar Team of the Week award. Weekend off, it's not unusual to find pro players at high school games aware of rankings and such, and you'll get a leg up on what they know with a sneak peek at tomorrow's Enquirer coaches poll. Division 1 is Elder, Coleraine, and Anderson, 1, 2, and 3. Divisions 2 through 6, Kings, Loveland, and Reading. Oh, no.
Division 4, Clinton Massey in as well. Same for CHCA and East Clinton as they head into the playoffs in Division 5, and CCD is hanging on in Division 6.
Hell now. No, I don't. Reading and Taylor eking out the win for our wild card game of the week. Here are the highlights, second quarter. Look at that. Caldwell throws it up. Loris Barnes climbing the ladder there for the Blue Devils. Now, here is one of the wildest plays you're going to see. Taylor going with the flea flicker. Handoff, back to the quarterback. Chris Moreline finds Nick Flagg. Wide open. It works. 64 yards. Pretty play. But Reading stays undefeated with the win, 42-21. Well,
Dixie. CCD getting 2 of its backs into the 1,000-yard club tonight. Seniors Matt Marshall and Philip Waller enshrined against New Miami. The Indians take on the unbeaten Reading in next week's Skyline Chili Game of the Week. And Elder Panthers.
you can see from Steve Shuck's projections, a big week coming up for Marymount and CCD, both, according to the rankings guru, just a spot out of the Ohio High School playoffs. Welcome back.
It's time to look at this week's candidate for the Cincinnati Enquirer Channel 9 Prep Player of the Year. And it's interesting to recognize quarterback Tony Pike of Reading because he's only a part-time performer. Tony shares signal calling duties with Adam Caldwell. Pike has produced some eye-popping passing numbers, 76 completions in 116 attempts, more than 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. Doesn't sound part-time to me. Tony Pike, a definite candidate for the Enquirer Channel 9 Prep Player of the Year.
Beating the press run. Here's a peek at the Enquirer's high school coaches poll. Division I's top 3 remained Elder, Coleraine, and Anderson. 2 through 6, it's Kings, Reading, and Loveland. In Northern Kentucky, it's the first place.
This must come to an end. That includes our Skyline Chili game of the week. However, we may have saved one of the best for last. Friday night, CHL champion Reading plays for an undefeated season while CCD needs to secure a playoff spot. I will have your Coney Eaton obstacle course beginning at 6 o'clock. Boys soccer.
Hey, you don't want to miss our final Skyline game of the season. Oh, no. Reading and CCD, each averaging 37 points per game. Reading quarterbacks have thrown for a combined 2,000 yards. CCD's ground attack boasts a pair of 1,000-yard rushers. Now, Brad has your Coney Eating obstacle course. That's tomorrow night at 6. I'll have the highlights on the Friday night final.
Football playoffs just around the corner. But first, one more week of regular season. One more Skyline Chili game of the week. Reading looking for an undefeated 10-0 season. 7-2 CCD needs a win in all likelihood to make the playoffs. Should be a dandy. I'll have your Coney Eaton obstacle course beginning.
CCD trying to keep dry. Here's the group from CCD, and the visitor Reading folks have come out here to get ready for this one. Reading trying to go undefeated. Let me give you a glimpse of some of the games we got for you tonight coming up on the Friday night final. If we can go to them. Big game of the week. We will also have highlights from that, plus McNick and Anderson playing at Miramar. Lebanon is in the playoffs with a win over Springboro. East Clinton and Clinton Massey battle for the Southern Buckeye. A couple of cancellations that we've got for you tonight. Hang on to those. We may have some more coming on, but I think this stuff's going to stop. We're getting ready for the prelims because it's the last time I'm going to be doing it. Reading going against Reading right now. We'll get you ready for this one. You don't have to eat. You ready? Set, go. Just getting through the whole. Oh, he's strong already through. All you have to do is get it ready, get the dog in, hand it off. The ugly eating stuff is coming down. You guys are moving on. We'll get you ready for this whole thing coming up from the gymnasium at CCD. Is there any excitement among this group whatsoever? Very little excitement, but we'll get you ready coming up at 6:20. That's Sports in a Minute.
The rain is dampening that.
That's true. Their parents threatened them also.
Probably.
We'll be right back.
Thanks very much.
We'll get over it. So now Brad is out there hanging out with Coney dogs and getting ready to see some sloppy football.
Right, but he was sort of cheating earlier on the broadcast because oh, look at this. He's indoors.
Absolutely.
You're not
He really
being
is.
rained on. It's not cold where you are.
What can I say? What can I say? We're trying to stay dry before the mess goes on tonight. We're at CCD. Reading and CCD getting ready for this thing to wrap this whole thing up. I got to say some thank yous first. Skyline has been the best sponsor in the world. I want to say thanks to Sarah and Katie, all the people with Skyline who've been out week after week to get it done. Barb with our sales department, you guys have been phenomenal. This is the final Skyline Chili Coney Eaton contest. Reading on this side, CCD on this side. We're playing for $100. Folks, are you ready? Set, go. Oh, Reading, first one through. He was the first one through on the prelims as well. CCD still trying to get it going. Just make the oh, he's going very slowly. The cheese comes out in a lump. You're spending way too much time making your Coney. Bringing it down. They're still trying to get the ball in. All he wants is, oh, that is strong. Reading is our winner without question. A strong finish. We'll have our hot seat coming up. One team finished 2 and 6, and you know, for most teams finishing 2 and 6. All right, we're getting ready for the hot seat. Ashley, did you ever get one through?
I got a lot of them through.
Just not when it counted. To the hot seat. Harry, you're the man, and you're looking strong. I decided because this is for your homeroom class, a Skyline Chili Party, I'd make the question phenomenally easy on the last week. The Bengals at 0 and 6 try and get their first win this week. Against who?
Tennessee Titans.
Oh, I heard it come from the crowd, but you know what? Because I'm a good guy, I'm giving you the win. It is the Tennessee Titans. Reading gets the win. Who's going to win this game tonight? Oh, Reading going for that undefeated season. They'll play CCD tonight. We'll have all the highlights coming for you on the final. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
Now he has to answer to the students at CCD. You know that.
Yes, he does.
Thank you, Brad. You know, Mike Martin.
CCD 20-13 and
Welcome to another big night on the Friday night final. We've got all your high school action. The Mount Healthy Band in the house tonight helping us on this final Friday of the regular season in Ohio. 12 ticker, take a look at it right at the bottom of your screen. Let's kick it off. We begin with our Skyline Chili Game of the Week. Season finale, undefeated Reading, champions of the CHL, going for the undefeated season, facing 7-2 Country Day, powered by 2 1,000-yard rushers, looking to clinch a playoff berth. Let's go to Indian Hills. No shoe is going to help those guys. Muddy night. pick it up in the fourth. CCD leading 7-6. Third and 11, Brad Kaiser. Short rollout, fires a BB to John McKinnish. Takes a hit, but hangs on for touchdown, 20-13 Indians. Blue Devils get in gear. Anthony Pike throws behind to John Barber, who then throws downfield to Loris Barnes. It gets tipped right into the hands of Barnes, and he hangs on. They get it to the 1-yard line. John Gertz moves it more. That touchdown ties the score 20 apiece. Now 41 seconds remaining after the ensuing kickoff. CCD looking to run the clock down. Big Philip Waller has the ball taken out of his hands. Check the heads-up play by Reading's Adam Caldwell. Bring it the other way, all the way down to the 2-yard line. And then with just 17 seconds left in the game, we have said his name already tonight. I'll say it one more time. John Gertz plunges in from the 2. That's your game winner. Congratulations to Reading for a perfect season, 20-13 over CCD.
I saw the ball, and I knew we needed it. On a strip drill, I just stuck my hand in and took it out from me. It just ran.
And tonight, it looked like it was doomed, but these boys will not quit. They're picked seventh in the league, but they don't believe it. They think they can go all the way, and I love them.
Great ending there. Now
Reading wins by 7. CHCA with a
Ferris, 9 Sports.
My picks in yesterday's Inquirer included Cincinnati Country Day over Reading, the Indians being the last impediment to the Blue Devils' perfect regular season, and they took an early 7-0 lead. Reading answered, though. Tony Pike, a laser throw to Adam Blevins, the touchdown. They missed the point after touchdown. It is 7-6 Cincinnati Country Day. They came right back, though, to reassert control. Brad Keyser to Richard Geyer. He holds on to the ball for the score, but they missed the point after touchdown. It is 13-6 CCD. Under 40 seconds left to go. Reading punches home the tying score. It is 13-13. So Country Day with the ball game winding down, thinking about overtime. Well, Reading's Adam Caldwell thinks no. He strips the ball from Philip Waller, takes it all the way down to the 3-yard line before he is eventually run out of bounds. One play later, John Gertz hops home for the winning score. 20-13, Reading was the final. More sports later.
The Blue Crew made the trek over to Cincinnati Country Day. The fans were blue, but Reading and CCD were brown. Here's the kind of mess they were involved in all Friday night. Undefeated Reading was getting moved by a patient CCD offense. Matt Marshall helps the Indians get a 7-0 lead. It wasn't until just before the half that Reading managed to score. Tony Pike whistles this one to John Barbauer, who gets out of bounds. Then Pike goes in the other direction. Adam Blevins is there. The point after fails, so CCD leads at the half 7-6. Reading stopped more damage in the third period. They blocked this field goal attempt. That was key because CCD increased its lead. Brad Kaiser to Richard Geyer. He's hit hard, but he holds on for the touchdown. So 2:19 left to play. CCD leads 13-6. But watch what happens after this. Reading is in urgent need of a big play. They produce a flea flicker, and then the ball is bobbled and caught by Loris Barnes. They go real deep toward the end zone on the very next play. It falls incomplete, but alongside the ball is a flag for interference. So the Devils get the ball at the 1. John Gertz gets it in from there. This game is tied at 13, and that sets up Paula Ferris with our Drive of the Week.
So we're all tied at lucky number 13. How fitting for a lucky drive. With 37 on the clock, the Indians' Philip Waller runs to the left, picks up some yardage, but then loses the ball to Adam Caldwell after a clean swipe. Caldwell takes it back to the 1-yard line, and with 21 on the clock, John Gertz gets the points, the plunge, and the Reading victory. 21-13 Blue Devils.
When we come back, we return to the sloppy fields of Friday as the Reading Blue Devils go after an undefeated season. That and more football is up next on the Meijer Sports Rush.
Because it's playoff time. We know who's in. We know who's out. Feel free to scream when you hold that trophy because Blitz 5 Extra starts now. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Blitz 5 Extra. It is March Madness in October, and we are prime time tonight as the Ohio high school football regular season is over. Now it's time to make those educated guesses, not only who's in and who's out, but who goes as far as they think they might. Let's go to Steve Shuck's projections, the GMC commissioner who calls this handicapping a hobby, and here is how he sees Ohio. Welcome back, everybody, to Blitz. Congratulations to Tim Dunn and CCD getting that 8th playoff spot in Division 6.
Next, Kenton is the defending state champion in Division 4. We'll let you know where the Wildcats and their record-setting quarterback Ben Mock are seated. You're watching the High School Football Playoff Pairing Show on ONN.
Now, back to High School Sports Site on ONN.
And welcome back to our special High School Sports Site Playoff Pairing Show as we announce all 192 high school football teams headed to the postseason. First round games in Division 4 will be played Friday night. In Region 13, top-seeded Akron-Manchester puts its perfect record on the line when the Panthers host the 8th-seeded Youngstown Ursuline Fighting Irish, whose tough schedule helped them make the playoffs with a 5-5 record. 4th-seeded East Palestine hosts Sullivan Black River. In the Battle of the Hyphens, Cleveland Villa Angela St. Joseph entertains Akron St. Vincent St. Mary.
It's a mouthful there.
And how? And 2nd-seeded Girard plays host to Perry. Dan?
All right, in Region 14, the top seed is the defending Division 4 champion, Kenton, led by their record-setting quarterback, Ben Mock. The Wildcats have an opening round matchup with Marion River Valley, the 8th seed. Both teams went 8-2. The winner gets the winner of Pemberville Eastwood against Upper Sandusky. The 3rd seed is Ottawa Glandorf, whose only loss came on a Hail Mary with no time left to Kenton. The Titans host former state champs Archibald. The Blue Streaks went 8-2 on the year. Speaking of 8-2 teams, the Rossford Bulldogs grabbed the 2 seed. They play host to the 9-1 Delta in round 1 of Friday night.
In Region 15, the top seed is 9-1 Portsmouth. The Trojans open up at home against 8-2 Waverly. The winner of that game plays the winner of Lancaster Fairfield Union versus perennial power Ironton. 3rd-seeded Coshocton plays host to Martins Ferry in a battle of unbeatens. The number 2 seed is also undefeated. New Lexington plays host to Portsmouth West.
Our last stop in Division 4 is Region 16. The top seed there is Kettering Alter, coming off an upset win over Dayton Chaminade Julian. The 9-1 Knights host Hamilton Baden, who made the playoffs with a losing record. The 4-5 game is a battle of 9-1 teams. Jonathan Alder hosting Clinton Massey. Coldwater is one of the best 3 seeds in the playoffs. The unbeaten Cavaliers host Springfield Northeastern. The 2nd seed is unbeaten Reading, who draws a 7-3 Milton Union team.
Dan, always fun to watch Ben Mock and the Wildcats. They call that offense Benny and the Jets.
Appropriate name, too. I tell you, all Ben Mock does is line up. He has no running backs. He just lets his wide receivers go, and he just goes crazy. He's the all-time career passing leader in the nation.
More than 15,000 yards coming into this game. Now, Coldwater is ranked 1st in the state in Division 4. We saw them in Week 2 in our marquee matchup against Marion Local. This team has never won a state title, Dan, but they've been runners-up twice.
That's right. In 1998, they lost to the Red Riders. Justin Zwick's team was when he was with Orville, and they lost in 2000 to Youngstown Ursuline. Coldwater, a very solid team. They'll be fun to watch.
Looking at the Coldwater Cavaliers, looking for their first state championship. Let's check out the
inside the brackets now. Only one of the 192 teams in the playoffs made the list with a losing record. Hamilton Baden is 4-6 on the season, and with all the great teams, you'd think there would be a lot more opening round games between unbeatens, but there's only one. Martins Ferry at Coshocton. And finally, checking on last year's champs, 5 of the 6 defending state champions are back to try and keep their crown. Only Mentor Lake Catholic is left sitting on the sidelines for the 2002 OHSAA postseason.
Job, and as always, it is indeed a pleasure to be joined by OHSAA Commissioner Claire Mascaro. And Claire, this is what more than 700 schools go through the 3-a-day practices, the blood, sweat, and tears in August and throughout the 10-week regular season to get into the playoffs.
Doug, it's unbelievable, and the excitement in those communities and among the kids has to be phenomenal.
We're talking about some of those great...
Boys are the lone local team represented in D3. They get a tough, undefeated Germantown Valley View squad that Saturday night. Division 4 Friday games, the 4-6 Baden Rams have once again made the playoffs. They play at Kettering Alter while the undefeated Reading Blue Devils host West Milton. Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy makes the Division 5 playoffs. They're going to play at Paint Valley on Saturday night. And in Division 6, the Indians of CCD still playing. They travel to Marion local.
7:30 kickoff Friday. Here's some more 7 o'clock games Saturday. Division 3, Wyoming in action. Division 4, Baden and Reading hosting a game Friday night. And also Division 5 and 6, CHCA on the road, and Cincinnati Country Day at Marion local.
Nominee might end up there. Anderson would feel right at home in a big game. They finished their second straight 10-0 season with a 29-20 win over McNicholas in a Seesaw Classic Friday. CHCA's Eagles also went undefeated, though, for the first time, blanking Finneytown 42-0 for a playoff berth. After spectating last year, Muller beats out Princeton 48-25 for a playoff spot, behind Reed Hamilton's 275 yards and 4 TDs and Eric Thatcher's 3 scores. Reading scored 2 TDs in the final 20 seconds to beat Cincinnati Country Day 20-13, completing their first undefeated season since 1974. While Mount Healthy heads to the playoffs courtesy an 8-2 record, including a 17-6 win over Purcell Marion. We'll announce our Tempstar winner at 11 o'clock.
Of the week, brought to you by your local Tempstar dealer.
Nippert Stadium will be tapped. Winner, one of the candidates to finish its regular season undefeated, Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, gets the nod after blanking Finneytown 42-0 Friday. That ushers them to the playoffs, and they go as our Temps.
High school football playoffs begin tonight. Here's a look at some of the games we'll be covering on the final quarter. Mount Healthy at Kings, Milton Union at Reading, Baden at Kettering Ultra.
Awesome. Let's talk about those unbeaten Reading Blue Devils. Fantastic. Unbelievable at Reading High School. At Reading, they're expecting a huge crowd tonight. The Blue Devils hosting Milton Union. The Blue Devils made it through the season undefeated at 10-0. They're number 2 seed in the region. Milton Union just from above Dayton. The first time Milton Union has made the playoffs, so they'll be bringing plenty of fans, and Reading is ready for that.
I expect a very good team coming down with a lot of fans, and I expect our town for the 3rd year in a row to be behind us all the way like they are the last 3 years.
Yeah, I think it's getting more a habit, and the fans expect it nowadays. I mean, Friday night's gonna be wild.
We have George.
Right, and tonight on the final, we'll be having you covered with all of the high school football playoffs. Kings hosting Mount Healthy, Edgewood welcomes Troutwood Mason. Reading puts its perfect record on the line against Milton Union.
Oh, there's a chill in the air, Dan, and you know what that means.
I sure do, Horty. It's time for the high school football playoffs. It starts tonight, and we have it covered like a blanket.
From Mount Healthy and undefeated Kings in Division 2.
To Division 4, where the Blue Devils of Reading try to continue a perfect run. That's just the beginning of our high school coverage tonight.
Plus...
Hello, all, and welcome to the show as we head into the high school football playoffs. I'm Dan Hort, alongside the man known as Horty, here to bring you all the action and more. But before we get to the
Holden Height. Alter beats Baden 38-14. Also, CCD falls to Marion 35-7.
The Reading Blue Devils went 10-0 in the regular season and outscored opponents by an average score of 36-10. That earned Reading a home game against Milton Union to open the postseason. A little chilly for the topless thing in my book, but hey, that's school spirit. Reading uses alternating quarterbacks. This is Adam Caldwell firing an NFL film spiral to Loris Barnes, who hauls it in before being hauled down at the 1. Then straight from the Dan Horde rules of good coaching, Reading gives Barnes a chance to do the rest, and he takes care of the final yards. 6-0 Blue Devils. Reading's other QB is Tony Pike. He delivers a strike to Nicholas Lasinak, who's like Rocky Balboa. He won't go down no matter how many times you hit him. 20-0 Reading at the half. On to the second half. It's Tony Pike again, looking left, throwing right, and finding Adam Blevins, who splits 2 defenders and takes it to the promised land. Reading wins 26-8. Our Dan Carroll is standing by with more.
Okay, guys, we are back at Reading Stadium, where Reading continues its unbeaten season, beating Milton Union tonight. We've got 2 Reading quarterbacks here, and we will start with Adam Caldwell. Adam, you're the senior. Talk about this 2-quarterback system. It's a little unusual, but it's been working for you all season. It certainly worked tonight.
I think the system we got is the best thing that we could ever have changed to. When I'm struggling and having a bad day, Tony steps in, does a great job. When he's struggling, I come and do the same thing for him. So it's kind of like just a win-win situation with us too.
Anthony Pike, you had the 2 touchdown passes tonight. Is that something you felt like you could take advantage of coming into this game? Your receivers had the height advantage over the secondary for Milton Union.
Yeah, they had a couple good DBs out there, but we knew we had 4 of the best receivers going right now. We just had to exploit whatever was open.
It's fun to get a big win in your first playoff game, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Congratulations on a good game tonight. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Good luck down the road. We'll see you down the road. That's going to do it from here at Reading Stadium, where Reading gets a big win over Milton Union tonight. Once again, the final, 26-8. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Dan and all.
On a night like tonight.
Yeah, got to do a lot of things, yeah. Don't have to
No.
do much to stay cold.
No reason for pippy intros right now. It is playoff time in Ohio, and the big schools in Division I play tomorrow.
Yeah, they had the night off, but we had plenty of big games tonight in Division II.
Yes, sir. Let's get a little hungry, all right?
Reading a perfect 10-0 before tonight, and that perfect record will remain intact against Milton Union. Round 1 of the playoffs here. Reading on defense, but the Blue Devils giving up that. Travis Anders scores for the visiting Bulldogs. It's 20-8 Reading. But in the fourth quarter, Tony Pike on the work. 2 touchdown passes on this night. This one to Adam Blevins, and Reading advancing a 26-8 winner.
Well, Bay is heading for the end. Western. And let's give you one more here on the panel.
6. Reading with a perfect 10-0 season, earning a home game against Milton Union. Reading first. John Gertz gets the handoff, and he is in the flipping end zone. Then Anthony Pike going to the air, rolling left. He'll dump to Nicholas Osanek. He's got 15 more yards to get to the stripe, and Nick the Quick will get there. Touchdown. Reading one more time, right side. No flip this time. Easy TD. Reading stays perfect, 27-8. Baden became the...
Thank you, Paula. Undefeated in the regular season, the Reading Blue Devils trek to state. Next included a date tonight against West Milton Union. Might as well have been Milton Bradley on a frosty night at the Tri-State. The Blue Devils wasted no time in warming up the scoring machine. Adam Caldwell fumbles the snap, gets the ball back, avoids the rush, and finds John Barber all alone for the touchdown, just like they planned it, 7-0 at the point after touchdown. This time it's going to be Anthony Pike behind center. He finds Nick Lesiniak. He is not going to stop until he likewise hits the scoreboard. Reading rolls on 26-8.
Ending Hamilton-Baden season. Also in D4, Region 16, undefeated Reading hosting Milton Union tonight. And let's take a look at Reading uses alternating quarterbacks. Adam Caldwell firing an NFL film spiral to Loris Barnes, hauls it in before being hauled down at the 1. Gives Reading's Barnes a chance to do the rest. He takes care of business, 6-0 Blue Devils. Reading's other quarterback is Tony Pike, and he delivers a strike to Nicholas Lakanek, who's like Rocky Balboa. He won't go down no matter how many times you hit him. 20-0 Reading at the half. Second half, it's Anthony Pike again, looking left, throwing right, and finding Adam Blevins, who splits 2 defenders. He takes it into the promised land. Reading wins this one 26-8. Elsewhere in Region 16, let's take a look at Coldwater. How about Coldwater, ranked first in the state in Division IV, and the Cavaliers show us why they're number 1, hammering Springfield Northeastern. All right.
Here, man, follow me. Hey, Fox 19 guy.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, it's playoff time. I'm at Reading High School. Reading's had a pretty good season.
What are you talking about? Good season. We're undefeated.
They are undefeated. It's a big game tonight. We'll have all the highlights coming up tonight on the final quarter.
Let's look at other high school action from Friday night. Undefeated Reading against West Milton Union in the playoffs. On a frosty night in the Tri-State, the Blue Devils wasted no time in getting the scoring heated up. Adam Caldwell fumbles the snap, gets the ball, avoids the rush, and finds John Barbar all alone for the TD, just how they planned it, 7-0. This time it's Anthony Pike behind center. He finds Nick Lesiniak. He's not going to stop till he's on the scoreboard. And Reading rolls against West Milton Union 26-8. bringing a little bit of Chicago to Reading. This is the Reading High School Marching Band.
Pairings for next weekend's games are out, including a Division I doubleheader at Paul Brown Fairfield Stadium, and Division IV. It's a matchup of unbeatens. A second-seeded Reading squares off against Coldwater Friday night, 7:30 up in Dayton
Stadium. And in Division IV, it's Reading and Coldwater at Huber Heights Wayne Hyde Camp Stadium. That's also Friday night.
On the eve of Week 2 of the Ohio football playoffs, unbeaten Reading faces its toughest test yet. The Blue Devils, fresh off this win last Friday over Mount Union, now have to play away from home. Could it be a reversal of fortune against Coldwater tomorrow night? Like Reading, Coldwater is unbeaten, but it's the playoffs, and what you did in September and October really doesn't matter anymore.
Well, I think you just said it's the playoffs, and it means an awful lot. And they call it the second season, but it's a season which we look most forward to.
They got a lot to lose if they lose to us, but I don't know, it just motivates us more, us knowing that they're the #1 team in the state.
And we'll have cameras all over the Tri-State covering high school football playoffs. In Ohio, Kings versus Edgewood, Reading versus Cold.
It is Friday night and high school football fans are revved up. George Bogle and Ken Brew are live in Fairfield for the Edgewood Kings Showdown. Hello, guys.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
It certainly feels more like the preseason out there than the playoffs for football.
Yeah, but the weather is perfect tonight for football. Ken and George are out in Fairfield. Hi, guys.
We're surrounded by Edgewood and Kings. It's the iWireless Blitzline Tour, and it's straight ahead on this here TV.
Done a remarkable job at Kings.
Well, now there's other games tonight, other things going on. Let's talk about the Reading Blue Devils. They're perfect. They play Coldwater tonight. Coldwater is perfect. It could be the perfect storm tonight for Ken Miner and that Reading team. But the Blue Devils' toughest test of the season is tonight. They have to go on the road. They have to go to Wayne, and they have to play another unbeaten team. They have to play Coldwater.
It kind of brings enthusiasm to us because we have nothing to lose if we lose to them because we're picked to lose. They got a lot to lose if they lose to us, but I don't know, it just motivates us more, us knowing that they're the #1 team in the state.
Yeah, you got, yeah, look at it.
Evening, everyone. Welcome to the final. It is the first week of playoffs in Kentucky, at least for football. Just a few teams left chasing the title in Ohio. We also have state volleyball. All right, Reading against state's top-ranked Division 14 Coldwater. The Cavaliers take to the air. Kevin Hoying with a nice read. Craig Wellman makes the catch, then runs to the end zone. Reading still leads by a touchdown, 21-14. Reading likes to throw too. Anthony Pike finds Adam Blevins streaking down the sideline. That ties things up at 28. Then Pike uses his legs, scrambles until he will get into the land of 6. And Reading wins a close one, 41-38.
Thank you, Paula. A pair of undefeated teams going at it tonight. Reading Blue Devils of Ken Miner playing up in Huber Heights. Reading out to the early lead. Anthony Pike, nice fake and an even nicer toss to Adam Blevins, who scores easily 21-7. Remember that play now, because Coldwater knows the air lanes as well. Richie Smith hits Ryan York over the middle. He sheds defenders and takes it home. They would tie this game at 21. Stop me if you've seen this before. Pike pumps the pumpkin, finds Adam Blevins behind the defense again. Reading holds on for the 41-38 win. Playoff.
All the scores, all the action. Now on ONN's High School Sports Site with Douglas Ells.
Hello, Ohio. Welcome to High School Sports Site. It's week 2 of the high school football playoffs. Over the next half hour, we'll bring you the scores and highlights from across the state in Divisions 2, 4, and 6. We'll also check out today's state champ and its former state champ, Archibald, taking home a 16-13 win. The top-ranked team in the state in D4 is Coldwater. Tonight, the Cavaliers taking on Reading in a battle of unbeatens. Already up 7-0. Reading gets another score from John Gertz. And the Devils are up by 2 touchdowns, and the fans, yeah, they're understandably pumped up. But Coldwater's going to bring it back at them. Here's Kevin Hoying on the keeper. Coldwater is within 7 points. Reading adds a score. Then it's Hoying countering with this. He goes to Ryan York for 6. All kinds of scoring going on. Josh Fullenkamp gets in. to give Coldwater its first lead, 28-21. Reading has an answer still in the first half. Anthony Pike up top to Adam Blevins. We're tied at 28. Then right before halftime, it's Pike on a keeper. This one stays close the whole way, and Reading hangs on to win it, 41-38, the final. The top team.
In Division 4, Reading fans geared up for Coldwater. We knew this would be a good one. Coldwater quarterback Kevin Hoying the pass. But right there is Reading's Adam Caldwell with the pick. Oh, that sets up this ensuing drive. Reading's Anthony Pike looking to unload. What the heck? He doesn't see anyone open. He takes it himself, and he crashes in.
Looked like Boomer on that play.
That was sweet. Reading getting the job done, 41-38. Coach Ken Miner and the Blue Devils heading to the regional final. And Kettering Alter, a winner against Jonathan Alter. So it's Reading versus Alter next Friday night for the right to go to the state Final Four.
Everybody coming right up, it's the Final Four.
The high school football playoffs continue. We are in the thick of the game. In Ohio, we reached the regional semifinals. Reading, Edgewood, and Kings all battling 48-9, the final score in that one.
Here in Ohio, we reach week 2 of the playoffs, and no one yet has found a way to stop the Reading Blue Devils. Look at this shot coming up. Big red and framing it nicely in the goalpost. Blue Devils 11-0 and playing Coldwater tonight in Dayton. Already up 7-0. Reading gets this from John Gertz. Yeah. It puts the Blue Devils up 2 TDs, but Coldwater bringing it back at them. This is Kevin Hoying on the keeper. Coldwater within 7. Reading would add a score, and then Hoying counters with this. Goes to Ryan York for 6. Scoring at will in this game. This is Coldwater's Josh Fullenkamp. And that gives Coldwater its first lead, 28-14. But Reading has an answer. Anthony Pike up top to Adam Blevins. Nice catch. Takes it in. Look at the coaches. They're tied at 28. Then right before the half, Pike on a keeper. Taking it in. But it comes down to a goal line stand for Reading. They win it 41-38.
Wow. You know, it's big.
Boy, did we have some crazy games and some high-scoring games on Friday night. Our Paula Ferris picks up the action. Off football, let's stay in Ohio. Undefeated Reading against undefeated and #1 ranked Coldwater. But early in this game, Justin Haynes of the Blue Devils managed to break away for a couple of real big gainers. And in each case, John Gertz got the ball into the end zone, and Reading led 14-0. That's when this really became a track meet. Coldwater got into the game. Kevin Hoying keeps the ball. He gets it in. The lead is cut in half. But here come the Blue Devils. Anthony Pike back to throw. Adam Blevins shakes from his man. He has a clear path the last 20 yards. Reading is back up. But Coldwater's really dangerous. They scored 3 unanswered touchdowns. They managed to take the lead in the second quarter, 28-21. But look what works again. Pike throwing deep. Blevins shook his man again, and he scores a touchdown again. It's tied at 28, 3 minutes still to go in the first half, and they weren't done. Pike scrambling. He takes this one in himself. The Blue Devils pull the big Friday night upset, 41-38 over #1 Coldwater.
Round of the high school playoffs are set. Times and dates are out. And the 4 regional championship, Reading playing Kettering Alter Friday night at Dayton Welcome.
Friday night at Princeton High School. And in Division 4, 12-0 Reading will play the top seed Kettering Alter. That game is also Friday night at Dayton's Welcome Stadium. On to Kentucky, Commonwealth.
It's another touchdown 7 Friday night around the Miami Valley. So let's get started.
Hello and welcome to another Touchdown 7. I'm Mario Varson. It's regional semifinal time. That means teams are just 4 wins away from playing for a state championship. We'll begin tonight in Division. It's nothing new to Coldwater. The 11-0 Cavs are the top-ranked Division 4 team in the state and expect to be here. John Reed's club has advanced to the regional finals 5 straight years. Trip number 6 would have to come tonight against undefeated Reading. This one was a shootout. Let's take you up north. Reading gets on the board first. Josh Gertz from a yard out, 7-0 Devils, there they are. Still in the first. Same guy, Josh Gertz, same team. This time it's a 1-yard touchdown run, 14-0. Reading with the lead. Still in the first. Coldwater going to get on the board. Kevin Hoying, 7-yard touchdown scamper, 14-7. Reading. After a Reading touchdown, Coldwater coming right back. Josh Fulenkamp, 2-yard touchdown, 21-yard touchdown catch. We're tied at 21. And it's Josh Fulenkamp, actually, with the 2-yard touchdown run. We're tied at 21. We're still in the second. Coldwater. Fulenkamp again, 6-yard touchdown scamper, 28-21 Cavs. We're still in the second. We're still in the first half. Reading. Anthony Pike to Adam Blevins, 52-yard touchdown strike, ties the game at 28. More from Reading. No defense in this one. Pike going to keep it himself. You saw him throw last play. He keeps it this play. 6-yard touchdown run. We've got a shocker. 41-38. Reading knocks off the #1 Division IV team in the state, Coldwater. That means Alter and Reading will play next Friday in the Division IV regional finals. They have the
night at Princeton Stadium. Division IV, second seeded Reading draws top seed Alter. Friday night, 7:30 up in Dayton.
Sensational high school football season. Let's share some of the best moments as edited by Jake Jolivet in the Meyer High School highlights this week.
Win their first ever over Bourbon County. The Kings Knights advanced to their first ever regional final with a 36-19 victory over Edgewood, upping their record to 12-0. Bateswood's Bulldogs edged Franklin County 7-6. They take a 9-2 record to the regional finals. Lloyd's Juggernauts got 3 TDs and 157 yards from Marion Hopkins in their 51-20 romp over East Carter. We will reveal our Temp Star winner at 11 o'clock.
As a whistle left is telling his team that tonight. Win 3 more, you're state champs. At Reading High today, the Blue Devils were hearing that loud and clear. Their head coach, Ken Miner, had been down this road a lot. He knows it's not always the best team that wins. It's the team that prepares the best and on game night executes the best that normally winds up with the trophy.
Well, it's a regional semifinals, and we know we're the only undefeated team left in Division IV right now, and we know we're going to go lay it on the line. And if it's not good enough, we know it's going to be because they're just much better than us. That's all.
All right, time.
Reading outdueled #1 rated and previously undefeated Coldwater last Friday, holding off a furious comeback for a 41-38 win, which earned them a date in the regional finals and our Temp Star Channel 9 Team of the Week.
Very bad boy.
Oh, I'll tell you what. But you know what tonight is? High school football.
Blitz night.
We're back with high school football tonight. And can the Reading Blue Devils, can the Kings Knights remain unbeaten? And who plays on in Northern Kentucky? Questions we're seeking answers to in sports next. 2 teams, both unbeaten, both trying to win 3 more games. So it goes for Reading and Kings tonight as the high school playoffs roll on. Ken Miner, head coach Reading, what he has done this season is nothing short of a minor miracle. The Blue Devils lost their top 2 players to graduation. Reading then installed a new offensive style this season. And all the Blue Devils now are unbeaten. Tonight, they play Kettering Alter in the region finals.
They got a good defense. They play a lot of man-to-man, so with our spread offense, we look to capitalize. Plus, we on AstroTurf at Welcome Stadium.
I think that's our only chance to beat a team like Kettering Alter. They are so big and strong and physical that if you try to go in and pound them, you're not going to beat them. But with a spread offense and spreading it out and taking advantage of our passing game, I think we have a shot.
Now it can't.
Nasty weather for watching football tonight.
That's right. Come what may, it is going to be another funky Friday for football in the tri-state. That drought we had this summer, it is just a distant, dusty memory. This has been one of the wettest falls I can recall, and more often than not, it's made for some soggy playing conditions. But come what may, they will play at Princeton. Ferris is live at Viking Stadium with more. Paula?
Hey, Denny. Well, 2 local undefeated teams on the line tonight. They both need a win in order to advance to the state semifinals in Columbus next weekend.
Defense is probably as good as anybody we've faced.
And the other team fighting tonight, Division IV Reading. The Blue Devils are making the trip up to Dayton to play Kettering Alter. Reading is averaging 400 yards a game, but the Reading defensive line hasn't faced an offense like this Alter line. They've got some beefy boys. Each lineman's average weight, 250 pounds.
We are not that big, but we have a lot of heart. And I found out in 30 years of football, the team with the most heart usually comes out on top. But if you got bigger guys with more heart, and again, smaller guys with bigger heart, sometimes that's an advantage too. But we feel like tonight we're going to lay it all on the line.
And Reading is still in the spotlight. They've been chosen as the Channel 9 Temp Star Team of the Week after a big win against #1 Coldwater last week. Congrats and good luck to Coach Ken Miner and his team. Well, kickoff.
You'll shoot you.
It's going to be a big football weekend in the Tri-State.
It does begin tonight without the explosives for high schools and carry over to Sunday with the Bengals. Brad Johansson is here now with Sports in a Minute. No trick bags with you, right, Brad?
No. Fox. Tonight, it is high school playoff time. Here's what we'll have on the final. Division II, Kings and Chaminade Juliana Princeton. Division IV, Reading meets Alter at Dayton's Welcome Stadium. And in Kentucky.
Outstanding stuff. Yeah, it is playoff night tonight, and this is a big one as everybody gets ready to try and go downstate. And you know what? They may be perfect, but perfection isn't bringing respect. The Reading Blue Devils, underdogs tonight as they face Kettering Alter in Dayton. It's been a season of change that's earned the Devils better than passing grades. Harvey Smilovitz has our game day story.
When Reading's prolific running back, Deshaun Wynn, graduated last season, Coach Ken Miner believed no one could fill those big shoes this season. So Miner spread the offense, switching from a power rushing game to a no-huddle shotgun passing attack.
I drove my wife nuts this whole year about reading books on it, and I was calling colleges and everything. So we got a lot from a lot of people, and it's just great offense.
So great, in fact, 2 Blue Devil quarterbacks have had success running the show this season. Junior Tony Pike and senior Adam Caldwell. Both have started at various times, each causing different problems for opponents.
We alternate them at different times during the game. It depends on how it's going, so it works out real well.
Does that help baffle the defenses?
I think they got to prepare for Adam's quickness when he runs, and then Tony's got a cannon for an arm, and he throws the ball. They got to worry about that.
It's virtually unheard of for 2 quarterbacks to each throw for more than 1,000 yards in a season. But such is the case with Reading's potent passing game.
Last year was more run and then pass on 3rd down. And this year, I mean, you can have a couple bad passes and still make up for it. And every week it's just helped us get better and better.
The great offense has led to a perfect season, 12-0, #1 in the Cincinnati Hills League, surprising the CHL coaches, whose preseason prediction ranked the Devils next to last in their 8-team conference.
To me, that was proud as a team that we were able to come out on top after everyone looked down on us and said that, you know, Reading, they don't have Deshaun, they don't have Charlie, they ain't going to be nothing.
And hopefully Reading's offense comes out on top tonight. Harvey Smilovitz, 12 Sports.
Harvey, thanks. Here's what we've got on tap for the final tonight. Division II, Kings and Chaminade Julienne. That's at Princeton. Division IV, Reading meets Alter at Dayton's Welcome Stadium. And in Kentucky, Boone County hosting Louisville East.
Hang on now, don't go running off. Oh, no, because we are coming up next to the latest on the high school football playoffs. Isn't that right, Horace?
We're all over it, Dan. We got the latest from the Commonwealth, all the scores and highlights.
And 2 big games in Ohio tonight. Undefeated Kings against Chaminade and the Reading Blue Devils trying to keep a perfect season alive.
Plus a little preview of tomorrow's contest. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 16.
Now to Ohio, where winning a state championship means winning 5 straight playoff games. Think about that. That's another half of a high school season. A long and taxing grind that undefeated Reading would be happy to undergo. Light rain at Dayton's Welcome Stadium tonight as Reading faced Kettering Alter. Alter actually the higher seed, and 1,700-yard rusher Doug Penno is a big reason his short run gave the Knights a 7-0 lead. The Reading cheerleaders weren't pleased about it, but they did seem quite fond of the king-sized hot air blower. The Blue Devils have had a magnificent season, but they finally met their match tonight as Alter's wishbone offense was unstoppable. Eric Williams scoring that touchdown. The Knights advanced to the state Final Four, beating Reading tonight 42-10.
Division II Regional Finals, Kings and
All right, Betsy, thanks very much. Our congratulations, obviously, to Kings and Reading for the perfect regular seasons and the playoff losses that ended those seasons tonight. The Division
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final. Nice to have you with us tonight. We are getting that much closer to the state championships in high school football. No waiting for your scores. Just check out the 12 ticker at the bottom of your screen. Let's kick this thing off. We begin with the unbeaten Reading, looking for a berth in the state semifinals. The Blue Devils with a tall task to defeat Alter in their own backyard. Rain falling at Welcome Stadium in Dayton. Alter already up 7-0.
Second possession, Doug Penno up the middle, 31 yards to pay dirt. It is getting ugly early. Reading's offense shut down. Adam Caldwell back to throw, but he will not get it off. Mauled at the goal line. Early second, Penno again, looking from 2 yards out. Third TD of the game. 21-zip. Moments later, Timothy Dick on 4th and 1. Fumbles. Sean Leibrock recovers. 6 plays later, Eric Williams will lower the shoulder and go in one more time. Alter crushes Reading, 42-10 to Princeton Viking Stadium.
Thank you, Paula. Up the road from there to Dayton's Welcome Stadium. That's where the undefeated Reading Blue Devils met Kettering Alter. The Knights, though, were undaunted by that 12-0 mark. Doug Penno squirts through the left side to score. Eric Williams, watch the quick handoff, breaks some tackles, and he's gone, as is Reading from the title hunt, 42-10. While over in Kentucky.
The Kings Knights put their undefeated season on the line tonight. Up in Dayton, the Reading Blue Devils are putting their winning season on the line.
2 teams, 2 undefeated seasons, 2 trips to state on the Final Four on line tonight.
It's the playoffs, week 3, and it's time for the Blitz! Woo!
Well, welcome to another Friday night of high school football. George, we have come down to this, a very cold, rainy night in the month of November, a night when 2 teams had dreams of going to state championship games, trying to keep those dreams alive.
Yeah, a couple of undefeated teams, and we're going to begin with the big game.
Today, 58-32 is the final.
At Dayton Welcome Stadium, Reading and Kettering Alter in Division 4. Reading trailing in the first half. Alter quarterback Eric Lauman. He's looking for help, running all over the place. Jason Witt and Evan Kraling team up for the Reading sack, but Alter's offense would heat up after that. Doug Penno from the 1, crashing in. Alter takes a 21-0 lead. Later, it's Alter on the ground again, this time fooling the blitz cam. Eric Williams crashing in. Another touchdown for Alter. Alter wins 42-10. Reading finishes the season with a 12-1 record.
And we worked so hard. We won 12 games, and these seniors have played 9 tournament games, 9 playoff games in the last 3 years, and we've won 2 league championships and won a regional championship and a regional runner-up. I mean, we have nothing to be ashamed of here.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Great season for Reading, George.
Yes, and also in Division 4, Youngstown Ursulina winner, as is Kenton, and Portsmouth falls to Portsmouth West.
Back home again on Channel 5. Time now for our IGA sack of the week. We go right back to that Reading game where the Blue Devils, Jason Witt and Evan Kraling keep up and bury Eric Lauman. That is our IGA sack of the week. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Great season for Reading, George.
Yes, and also in Division...
Miami Valley, but not close to Dayton, at least not yet. We're at 35 now at the airport with a north wind at 15. Which is making for a wind chill well below freezing right now, and that number will continue dropping overnight, as will the air temperature. 39 in downtown Dayton, and once you get north of Miami County, I suspect there's probably a little bit of snow mixing in.
It is week 3 of the second season for high school football teams. Our Tartside has all the highlights in our Touchdown 7 playoff edition next on News Center 7 Sports.
There's no substitute for experience. Final. Sloppy field, not a problem for Alter tonight. The Knights on the turf at Welcome Stadium for their Division 4 regional final against a Reading team that knocked off top-ranked Coldwater last Friday night. Cold night, you got to warm up those hands, but Alter's just getting warmed up, already up 7-0. Give it to Doug Penno. Doug Penno, 31 yards up the middle. 14-0, Knights on top. Reading's offense completely shut down. Adam Caldwell back to pass, going the wrong way. They sack him inside the 10-yard line. Early second quarter, it's Penno again from 2 yards out. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 21-0. And then Reading fumbles it away a little bit later. Sean Leibrock with the pickup. And 6 plays after that, Eric Williams for the touchdown. On the Division 4 scoreboard, Alter a 42-10 win. The Knights will play Portsmouth West. They beat Portsmouth 34-18. Couple of other Division 4 scores. Kenton beats up on Archbold 52-0, that should be. And Youngstown Ursuline over Girard 31.
Ohio traditions. All the scores. All the action. Now on ONN's High School Sports Site with Doug Lascelles.
Hello, Ohio. Welcome to High School Sports Site. We're down to the regional finals in the high school football playoffs. 24 teams in divisions 2, 4, and 6 trying to advance to the state semifinals tonight. All right, thanks a lot, Dan, and we'll get back with you for some more final thoughts on that game coming up later in the show. Right now, though, let's check out Division 4 regional final action tonight at Welcome Stadium in Dayton. Undefeated Reading against 11-1 Kettering Alter at cold and rainy Welcome Stadium. The Alter Knights score on their first 2 possessions. Doug Penno busts this one right up the middle. 31 yards later, Kettering Alter leads 14-zip. The Alter D also coming up big, sacking Reading quarterback Adam Caldwell. Early in the second quarter, here comes Doug Penno again, this time from 2 yards out, make it 21-0. Just moments later, Reading with a 4th and 1. But Timothy Dick coughs up the football, and Sean LeBrock recovers for Alter. 6 plays later, Eric Williams bowls into the end zone. Kettering Alter leads 28-0 at the half, and the Knights roll into the semifinals, 47-10, the final in that one. A shocker in Region 15 tonight. The Battle of Portsmouth goes to Portsmouth West as the 7th-seeded Senators knock off the top-seeded Trojans in convincing fashion to advance to the state Final Four.
And here's your Saturday sports update. It's all over but the banquet and laundry for at least half the football teams that played last night. Paul, up the road from there to Dayton's Welcome Stadium. That's where the undefeated Reading Blue Devils met Kettering Alter last night. The Knights, though, were undaunted by that 12-0 mark that their opponent posted. Doug Penno squirts through the left side to score. Eric Williams, the quick handoff, breaks more tackles, and he's gone, as is Reading, from the title hunt, 42-10. Much more on
ready for a rematch. But there will be a purple haze tonight at Nippert Stadium. It's Cincinnati's final shot at a state football title.
By God, we came a lot further than the 7th in the league stuff that people said we were going to do, and I'm darn proud of you guys. We're walking off this field, so we're one of the best teams in the state.
Stand proud, football teams of the Tri-State. Blitz 5 Extra starts now. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Blitz 5 Extra. A tough night for local high school football teams in the Tri-State. We started with 12, trying to move a step closer to state title. Only 4 would survive. There are 3 teams. Grab that brown bag. It's time for our IGA Sack of the Week. And for that, we go to that Reading Alter game, Division 4 Region Final, where the Blue Devils' Jason Witt and Evan Kraling team up and bury Eric Lauman of Alter. It's our IGA Sack of the Week. More Blitz 5 Extra after this. Back to Blitz 5 Extra. Tough November night for Cincinnati's last undefeated team, the Reading Blue Devils. They put it on the line last night. Let's go up to Dayton at Welcome Stadium. Reading and Kettering Alter in the Region 16 finals. Reading trailing in the first half. Alter quarterback Eric Lauman looking for help. Jason Witt and Evan Cravel, they team up for the sack. But Alter's offense would heat up after that, figuratively and literally. Doug Penno with a 1-yard run. Penno with a big night last night, multiple touchdown night last night. Later, after fooling the Blitz cameraman, which, believe me, is no big thing, Eric Williams crashing into the end zone. Another touchdown for Alter. And Alter wins it 42-10. Reading finishes the season at 12-1.
We thought we had a great game plan as far as the passing game, but we were just a little bit out personnel all the way across. And the weather, of course, wasn't very conducive to our passing game. And I take my hats off to them, a hat off to them. They're a great team. It's going to take a heck of a team to beat them.
Eastern at Boone County.
Let's continue our coverage up the road at Dayton's Welcome Stadium, where the undefeated Reading Blue Devils met Kettering Alter. The Alter Knights, though, were undaunted by Reading's 12-0 mark. Doug Penno squirts through the left side and scores here. Eric Williams, the quick handoff, breaks some tackles. He's gone, as is Reading from the playoff hunt, 42-10.
Southwest Ohio is full of football talent, and we want to recognize just a few of the many athletes honored in the all-district football team of linemen. On to Division 4 and second team Reading quarterback Adam Caldwell. The 5'11 senior led his Blue Devil boys to a perfect 10-0 regular season.
Kenton was looking for the right to defend their Division 4 championship tonight against Kettering Alter. This one was led by, you guessed it, Benny and the Jets. It was delayed by yesterday by the snow. And just like every other game, this one turned into the Ben Mock Show. The national record-setting quarterback finds DJ Underwood on the 70-yard pass to put the Wildcats inside the 10. There he goes down to the 10-yard line. He's going to be brought down, but not for long. It's Mock to Tommy Pettit for the 10-yard touchdown strike, just as they drew it up in the chalkboard. Opening drive, 2 plays, 80 yards in 20 seconds. But the Knights are knocking on the door later with his 5-yard run by Doug Pino right up the middle. 7-6 Alter leads. Alter adds another score on this 1-yard carry by Pino. 14-6 Knights. But Mock, well, he's Mock, and Benny and the Jets go to the air on this 69-yard passing catch. And the Wildcats are heading back to the state championship after a 48-28 victory. The Division IV title tilt is now set in one corner. You have the surprising Portsmouth West team trying to win the championship as a 7 seed. In the other corner, it's the defending Division IV champs led by Ben Mock. That game is Friday at 11 a.m., and you can only see it right here on ONN, your channel for high school sports.
Wyoming's Luke Jellison heads the roster of Division III and IV first-team All-Staters. Alex Blevins of Reading, Clinton Massey's Kyle Ruddick, and Dewan Tribble of North College Hill, joined by a host of area second-teamers. Rick.
Our milestone this week involves first-team All-Staters in Ohio, and Elder's a solid defensive lineman. While junior Alex Blevins from Reading, he's only a junior, he was picked the Division IV first team on offense, and the defense included Dewan Tribble, a very hard hitter out of North College Hill.